Have you ever had one of those nights where you tell yourself, "Tomorrow I'm gonna be different," and then the next day you wake up, check your phone, and boom, you're the same person, repeating the same habits you swore you'd outgrow? Yeah, same, but here's the wild part. It's not the big decisions that shape who you become. It's the tiny, almost invisible ones. The little whatever it doesn't matter choices that actually matter a lot. So today, we're breaking down 7 micro-decisions you make every single day that quietly shape your personality, your confidence, and honestly, your whole life trajectory. Let's get into it. The first input, you feed your brain the moment you wake up. Your brain asks one question: what are we doing today? And your first input answers it. If your first move is scrolling TikTok or checking notifications, you're basically telling your brain, today we react, today we chase stimulation, today we let other people set our mood. But if your first input is something calm, drinking water, stretching, opening your blinds, you're telling your brain, today we lead, today we choose the pace. It's tiny, but it shifts your entire internal setting from reactive to intentional. Mini cliffhanger, and this next one, most people think it doesn't matter at all, but it changes everything about how disciplined you become. 2. The 10-second delay before a bad habit. Every time you get the urge to procrastinate, there's a 10-second window. 10 seconds where you can either click the distracting app or pause, breathe, and break the pattern. That 10-second micro-decision builds your default identity. Because discipline isn't willpower, it's pattern interruption. Say you're about to skip studying, just sit still for 10 seconds. Let the urge pass like a pop-up notification. Do that consistently, and suddenly you're that person who gets things done, not because you changed everything, but because you changed 10 seconds. Who you reply to first, this one's subtle. Look at your notifications. Who do you respond to first? The loudest person, the funniest, the one causing drama, or the person you actually care about? That single choice, who gets your attention first, quietly shapes your boundaries. It teaches your brain whose energy you prioritize, and over time it teaches other people too. If you constantly respond to chaos, you become someone who lives in chaos. If you respond to what actually matters, you become someone who chooses peace. Tiny decision, massive ripple. 4. The moment you say, "I'll do it later," here's the truth none of us like. Every time you say, "I'll do it later," your brain writes it down as proof that future, you will take care of everything. Which sounds nice, but it builds an identity where you're always passing things to the future version of you, and that version ends up drowning. Try this instead. When something takes less than 2 minutes, do it now. Answer the message. Put the dish away. Close the tab. You're not just doing chores, you're training a personality that doesn't run from small responsibilities. Pause moment, because the next decision. It shapes your entire emotional baseline without you even realizing. 5. How you treat tiny inconveniences. Missed the bus, spilled water, printer jammed, someone cuts you off. These micro moments expose your default emotional tone. Some people explode, some people shut down, some people laugh. The decision isn't what happens to you, it's the story you tell yourself afterward. Instead of course this happens to me, try, "Well, that's annoying, but whatever." It sounds small, but this micro-decision builds your emotional resilience. Not the dramatic stuff, the tiny annoyances. 6. The choice between consuming or creating. After school or work, you get a small window. Do you consume or do you create? Most people intend to create, journal, draw, work on a side project, but end up consuming because it's easier. This daily micro-decision quietly determines your confidence. When you create even a tiny bit, you strengthen the part of your personality that believes, "I have something to offer." You don't need a masterpiece. You just need a moment of expressing something instead of absorbing everything. 7. Your last thought before bed. This one's powerful. Right before sleep, your brain reviews the day and updates your internal identity. Who was I today? So the micro-decision is simple. What do you choose to think about? A failure? A win? A fear? A plan? Here's a tiny ritual. Before sleeping, think of one thing you handled well today, no matter how small. You're teaching your brain, "I'm growing, I'm trying. I'm becoming someone I'm proud of." This one habit alone quietly rewires your self-worth. These micro-decisions don't feel life-changing in the moment, but that's the point. They're silent, quiet, invisible from the outside. Yet they slowly carve your personality from the inside out. So try just one of these tonight. Just one micro-choice that nudges you 1% closer to who you want to be. And if you want more videos like this, more psychology, more habits, more real talk, hit subscribe and let's level up together. One tiny decision at a time.